from a person who is extremely inspirational, motivational. This woman is a miracle. Let me tell you her story before I introduce her. She's currently a television personality for ESPN, an actress, a speaker, model, and a former American Paralympian swimmer. All right, now I'm going to read her story a little bit, okay? She's a triplet. She has two brothers. At the age of 11, she developed two rare conditions known as transverse myelitis.
Good job.
Okay, and acute disseminated encephalomyelitis. Damn, how you say that? Encephalomyelitis.
Close.
How you say it?
Encephalomyelitis.
Encephalomyelitis. This is a rare scenario. She quickly lost the ability to speak. She lost the ability to eat. She lost the ability to walk. She lost the ability to move.
Wow.
She slipped into a vegetative state in which recovery, they wrote her off. They didn't think she would recover. She spent nearly 4 years locked inside of her own body, completely aware of what was going on, just unable to move or communicate. This is a plot of a nightmarish movie for some. Can you imagine, being locked in your own body? That's equivalent to, I've seen movies where people were buried it sounds morbid, but buried alive in a casket.
Yep.
And couldn't move, couldn't see, couldn't do anything. Stuck in darkness. After 4 years, she began relearning how to speak, eat, and move. In June 2012, after a record-breaking performance at the 2012 Summer Paralympics on the U.S. swimming trials, she qualified for the 2012 Summer Paralympics in London. She has a full ability to walk now, speak now, move now, talk now. Her story is a miracle, in my opinion, and I want to have her come on the show. She won 4 medals, 1 gold and 3 silver in that Paralympics event. Give it up for the one and only Victoria Arlen, ladies and gentlemen.
Victoria, damn.
And she was talking about Greg Popovich. Coach Pop.
Yes. I didn't realize when I was listening, I was like, wow, that sounds really familiar. Like I was talking about that, and then I was like, oh, that's me.
Yeah, man. Wow. So these conditions that you developed, are they hereditary or what?
It's super rare.
Okay.
So and normally you get either the transverse myelitis, which affects your spine, or the encephalomyelitis, which affects your brain. You don't get both. In my case, apparently, I just like to go big, so I got both.
Okay.
And my brain, why not? You know, my mom's like, you always were an overachiever, and so we have a very twisted sense of humor in my family. I love it.
That's very obvious.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's very obvious. Well, we have a theory where like if you don't laugh, you'll cry. So you have to find kind of a reason to smile every day. And so they were super rare. It kind of is just like this misfire. It's this your body just starts attacking itself, and they've yet to really figure out why or how it happens, but it's just kind of one of those misfires, and I was one of the lucky ones that was in the crossfires of it.
So when you were unable to speak and move and and they say you were completely aware of yourself and locked inside of your body?
Yes.
What does that feel like? How can you describe that? Like you could see what's going on around you. You could hear what people were saying about you, but you couldn't feel if they touched you or you couldn't.
No, so I initially kind of woke up and didn't realize that I couldn't communicate. So I'm thinking I'm having a conversation clear as day and no one's responding. And then I realized they don't know I'm in here, and I couldn't move anything. I couldn't even make eye contact with anyone. So at that point, I kind of went into panic mode. But I was also young, so I kind of had that. I was a little naive in the sense where I was really focused on not being afraid about it and just trying to get through each day. But it was frustrating. I mean, you wouldn't believe how doctors and nurses react when they think you're not aware. So I was just very much like filling it with positive vibes, and I just created a hefty bucket list, and I just kind of made this ultimatum with God. Well, not ultimatum, but promise. And I was like, look, if you give me a second chance, if I come back, I'm going to do a lot of good and really try to make a difference in this world. And the cool thing about my family is they're not ones to just give up. When the doctors were telling them to just kind of throw in the towel, put me away in a home, I'm never going to come out of this, they're like, we're going to set up a hospital room in our living room and take care of our child and live a somewhat as normal of a life as we can. And that's what they did. And my mom would tell me every day, she's like, Mommy loves you and Mommy's going to take care of you the rest of your life. She's like, you are not forgotten. And same with my brothers too, my womb mates and my older brother as well. They just refused to give up. And that was kind of they were kind of the wind beneath my wings. And here I am. I haven't stopped talking since.
There it is, man. That's why you are here. You did Dancing with the Stars?
I did.
She did. She went from not being able to move to Dancing with the Stars.
Oh, my God.
You see why she's here today?
No, I do.
Do we understand why she's here today?
Absolutely.
Yes.
I do. I understand. And I have two quick things to ask you, Victoria.
Yes.
God bless you, first
Thank
of
you.
all.
He has,
'cause that's
over and
amazing.
over.
But sometimes with me, and I'll be honest about it, like, I fall asleep and I try to wake up and it feels like I'm pinned to the bed and I can't move. Like, I'm aware, but I can't speak. I can't, if you understand that feeling, is that the same thing? It just doesn't last as long?
It just is kind of permanent. Yeah, it's kind of that similar feeling. It just doesn't go away. And you're kind of have to every day find new ways to cope with it.
And secondly, maybe some parents out there listening now who have children that's dealing with an ailment. How were your parents able to afford to keep you home and properly care for you medically?
We were very fortunate to have incredible benefits, incredible health benefits. And then also a lot of our family and friends had fundraisers because a lot of the treatments and support modalities were outside of the box because medically I'd reached the point of there was nothing else they could do. So we were very fortunate to kind of have an army of people kind of rally behind us, which inspired me to start my own foundation to help other people as well. So it was we just had so much love and people from all over the world that were praying and supporting and just kind of joining that Team Victoria. And we were truly, truly blessed beyond words. And my parents too, they just were like, well, you do what you have to do for your child. You don't give up on your child. And my parents were like, we would have lived in a tent if it meant that we could get you the best care and help you. And they just were all in.
Victoria, you are like the physical definition of resilience. And I'm wondering, because you had to get to know yourself so well, since in a sense that was the only person you could communicate with, give us like some insight into your inner monologues when you said you were always surrounding yourself with just like, just positivity. What does that actually sound like from the inside?
From the inside, I think every day I had to start my day on a good note. So I called it my 5 minutes of gratitude. And I would list everything that I was grateful for. And at times it was just the fact that I had another day that I was super grateful for. And you would think that if I'm thanking and being grateful that I'm not dead, that I'm really scraping the bottom of the barrel. And you're probably right. But I really just kind of focused. I said, there's so much you have left in this world to do. You need to keep fighting for that. You have so much to give. And I think we all forget that. I think we wake up and sometimes think that we don't have much, or what can we do to make a difference? And so I really just focused on that. And I really just wanted to talk to my parents and my families and tell them I love them. And so I think every day I just found another exciting thing that I'd be able to do. And I created just this really hefty bucket list and reminded myself of that, of, okay, today you're one step closer. And for all of us, I think we all go through challenges, but you need to take those moments of gratitude and take those moments to just be present. The mindful moments are key.
Yeah.
What were the first moments of the reversal of these conditions when you start coming to that vegetative state? What did you feel something first? Was it a toe? Was it a finger? Or
So I started having right side pain. So my whole right side was aching, so they thought it was appendicitis. And so they removed my appendix. It wasn't that. And then within 2 weeks, my legs started, they were like, oops. And then my legs started going, and then it just was kind of this slow progression. The doctors didn't know what was going on. So at first they thought I was doing it for attention.
Wow.
And then by the time it was kind of the point of no return, it was too late for any. They're like, whoops, like
I don't like those doctors.
No.
And you can't sue them after that?
No, I mean, we could, but I didn't want their money. That wouldn't have given me the 4 years that were taken away. That wouldn't have given me the 10 years of getting my life back. And that wouldn't have given me a platform to be able to be a voice for other people.
I saw you do a interview once, and you mentioned a 9 years life day.
Yes.
I want to talk about what that means. And I want to open up the phone lines, 888-742-3345. Victoria Arlen is here. She has a book, Locked In, The Will to Survive and the Resolve to Live. And that's set for release in August.
Yes.
Right? And we're going to open up these phone lines. It's a very amazing story. 888-742-3345. Having to resolve to live. This woman was paralyzed. How long was the stint? How long were you paralyzed?
10 years.
10 years.
Straight up decade.
Yeah, straight up decade. And has since learned to walk again, talk again, move again, speak again, feed herself again. Won in the Paralympics. She won how many medals? 4 medals. Four different medals. And she's here to tell her story. Works at ESPN. Has hosted a lot of different events and keeps moving on. Has the Victory Foundation as well. What I heard you reference a 9-year life day in an interview that you did. And what is a 9-year life day?
Well, so on April 29th, that was the day I got sick. So that we call it my life day, and it was every year. It was always just kind of this dreading day that we'd all kind of feel somber and sad. And on our 9th year, we're coming up on 12 years this year, which is so bizarre. On our 9th year, it was the first year that I was kind of like, I don't want to cry anymore. I just want to celebrate. I want to have fun. And so my mom and I, we went to the beach. We picked roses and listed all of the things we were so blessed that this journey gave us. And then on the 10th year, we had a party and then went to a concert. And so it's kind of now just turned into this celebration day, this day where I'm just surrounded by the people I love. And it's a reminder that I lived versus a reminder that I got sick.
Okay.
It's kind of a perspective change.
Yeah. Being that 10 years is such a huge chunk of your life and you're still very young, what did you feel most eager about catching up on? I mean, was it like eating fast food or like working out, dating? I mean, like what was the one thing that you were like, I can't wait to actually get this back in my life?
There were so many things. I think I came back with in hyperspeed, but I'm a big foodie. So I was really excited to eat. I'm a bit of an almonds addict, so I was excited that was a little harder to initially. They weren't giving me almonds right away. But I was excited to have that. I was excited to start moving again. I love, a huge part of my recovery process was fitness, eating healthy. And so taking back that control and being able to every day be mindful of my nutrition, my fitness, and just kind of being an example to others that just because you're given a miracle doesn't mean you can't take that for granted. And so fueling my body, I've mentioned before I'm an almonds addict, but paying attention even to those little things that go such a long way, that was kind of what I was really excited for. And then I was just excited to live. A lot changes from 11 to 15, but a lot changes. But it was, but it was, I was just excited. I spent 4 years kind of on the sidelines that I couldn't wait to get back in the game. And then even when I started walking, it was really nice to not be in Butts View anymore, because that was during the yoga pant era and not the good kind. In high school, yoga pants and wheelchairs are not a good combo. But yeah, I was just excited to kind of have that freedom again. I don't like to use the word confined, but I had kind of been just battling that it was nice to almost take a breath and enjoy a moment where I get to read a book and just enjoy living and not have to worry every day about, something else hitting the fan.
What was it like when you first started physically communicating with a lover?
That's great wording.
Lover. Somebody's never said that word before.
Lover.
By the way.
Wow. All right. We're keeping it classy. I mean, now it's a little hard to kind of get away with not talking about my story.
Yeah.
But it is an interesting conversation when I really get excited when people don't know.
Yeah.
So I can, go and just have a casual conversation. And then when they mention something between 2006 and 2010, I can just be like, yeah, those were really awkward years for me. Like I was just kind of a soggy broccoli for a little while. That's the vegetable of choice from my vegetative state. By the way, told you 6 centimeters of hair.
It's okay to laugh now.
It's okay to laugh. It has a happy ending. If I can laugh about it, you can laugh about it.
I love soggy.
But were you excited?
I love broccoli.
Yeah, okay.
Like it's a good
Were you excited though about the possibility of making love? You know, being kissed.
There you go.
I mean, like,
just go for it, man. Just
let's come on,
cut
Victoria.
the textbook shit.
Honestly, I was thinking about a lot of other things when I first. I was 15 when I came back, so I was just
but it's been how many years now?
It's been a long time now.
Okay. Well, here we are.
No, I definitely. I mean, it was definitely an interesting because when I was 11. Boys had cooties, and then when I was 15, all of a sudden my friends all had boyfriends. So it definitely took. I was kind of a bit shell shocked at first, but honestly, I mean, I'm a social butterfly, so it just you just kind of go with it. I think this journey, as much as I lost so many years, it also made me a lot older than I actually am. So it kind of works out, but it's not a first date topic of me talking about. By the way, for 4 years of my life, I was just drooling in a hospital bed. I don't really bring that up.
You never know. You might run into somebody that likes it.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe some
love
people have
drool.
weird fetishes about that, but not me. So that's more of a conversation. I think my parents are more apt to talk about my story than I am. I kind of just go let it fly under the radar. I mean, it's going to be hard come August when
the book comes
it's
out.
all
They're going to
over
ask
the
you
place.
everything.
But I'm in, and also since Dancing with the Stars, I think it's a lot harder to fly under the radar with, now they're like, oh, you're that girl who is in the vegetative state. And I'm like, yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's your fruit of choice? I mean, your soggy
broccoli.
You're the soggy broccoli.
Soggy broccoli.
Yeah, okay. All right, okay.
Well, Dana Carvey, the broccoli song, right?
How's it go?
Chopper da broccoli. Where it just kind of goes. I'm an SNL junkie, so I was like the chopper broccoli. So I'm the soggy broccoli version. The soggy broccoli.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we're all scared to laugh. I don't know why.
No, just laugh.
Okay.
I legitimately asked my mom, I think it was like 3 months ago, and I hadn't seen her for a little while, and she came to see me, and I was like, Mom, I have a very serious question to ask you. And she's like, okay, like what's going on? I was like, what kind of vegetable was I? And she looked at me, she's like, what? I was like, what kind of vegetable? Like, just give me a vegetable. And she's like, I don't know how to answer this question. And I was like, I think I was a broccoli. Like, I was just kind of like, just kind of plopped over. And she's like, I don't want to laugh about this, but I'm totally going to laugh. Like, think about soggy broccoli. They just kind of, like, flop over. That's literally me for 4 years.
She got a whole stand-up bit on
Literally.
it.
But when she flops over, her hair bounces with it.
It bounced. It wasn't bouncing. Then my mom gave me bangs when I was in my vegetative state. So that was actually the first conversation I had with her. I was like, you gave me bangs. And she's like, I'm sorry.
Dang, you came out a brat? How does
No,
that happen?
I came out feisty. Okay, you think about it. You can't talk.
Why does my hair look like
this? If you had bangs.
Yeah.
No, I just came out feisty.
Okay. All right.
A
That's
little
fair
sassy
enough.
and classy.
We got people on the line that love
boy.
to talk to you. We have Amobi Okoye from Houston on the line. What is that noise?
Yeah.
Somebody's drilling. They're doing.
Oh, they're drilling. Okay.
They're doing
Amobi,
reconstruction.
go ahead. Say hello to Victoria.
Hello, Victoria. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, I'm blessed. I'm sorry, I'm walking into the barbershop. So,
Hey, man, what's your question, Amobi?
Bruh.
no, actually, Sway, I don't you remember we met a while back, but anyways, I don't know if you remember me. I used to play ball. Well, I'm still.
Oh, yo, my man Amobi. How you been, brother? I remember you.
Yeah.
But listen,
So,
hold on the line, man. Hold on the line.
Wasting her time, man.
What happened?
We get a lot of calls from all over the country, and Heather knows everybody, and they just, they call me.
Wow.
All right, Megan
spin move.
Megan from Fort Lauderdale. What up, Megan?
Hi,
Hey,
Megan.
Hi.
Hey, how are you guys? How's it going?
Good.
I just honestly wanted to kind of call in. I find your story just really awesome and inspiring. I want to share a little bit, if it's okay, about myself, just like what I've been through, and it's just awesome as another female to hear someone go through stuff and just keep on trucking. When I was 15, I was getting a little bit of trouble. Just kind of, wrong crowd, drugs, and not really into school. And I got sent away to a Christian military, cult boarding school for 5 years. And while I was there, I had cancer. So it was pretty tough. So actually, after getting out of that, too, I survived brain surgery and 3 spine surgeries. So
wow, God bless you.
Hearing you sounds so like awesome and motivating, and I really try to just help people be positive and, you know, smile, and it goes a long way.
Oh, you're amazing.
Wow.
Yes, you
wow.
are.
Wow. And so when you hear her story, you can relate to it in some point, in some way?
I can. So many things, honestly, are saying I'm just like, man, I'm not even sure which story, which part I can relate to in so many ways. Like even, you know, you're talking about the hospital part, trying to just, you know, be in light of it. I was in, you know, a neck brace for, out of 5 years, I would say like 3 years. And it's just like, you know, I found like cool things to kind of put around my neck brace and just, you know, embrace it and just kind of not have fun with it, but you kind of have to.
Yeah,
You
you
have
have
fun.
to. You
Okay.
gotta. If you don't laugh, you cry. That's kind of our family's motto.
Okay. Well, thank you for your call and sharing your story
Yeah,
with us.
thank you.
Megan. Have the, one last question.
I just want to say that you have reaffirmed my faith. I'm a person that lives by faith, but I've been struggling for the past 2 years. I lost my mom
I'm sorry.
almost 2 years ago, and when you have a parent that you watch deteriorate, you often question God
Yeah.
and His reasons why. You know, you can't make a person healthy or in full, you know, recovery again.
Yeah.
You don't know, but listening to you be so open and honest and sharing today, you hear people who always say God never makes mistakes. I'm so glad that you were so open and honest with us today and understanding, helping me to understand, you know, my mom didn't need to suffer anymore.
Yeah.
This was her time. And in the same way, you didn't need to suffer anymore, but your story needed to be told. So I think you were beyond inspirational today, and I just want to say thank you.
Thank
for sharing
you.
your
God
story.
bless you.
God bless you too. Thank you.
It's been a really crazy journey, but if nothing else, you know, God has shown me that there's a purpose for every pain that we go through. We just don't always understand it. Especially, it's interesting. It's kind of like when you're in the storm, you don't notice that, you know, the sun is going to come out. You're just too focused on that hurricane. But the sun will come out, I promise. As someone who has hit rock bottom multiple times in my life, I know it well. You're climbing that mountain, but the victory once you get to the top and that little victory dance is definitely worth it. You just got to keep climbing,
Thank
and that's
you
what
for
faith
sharing
is all about.
Wow.
Thank
Victoria
you.
Arlen. DB, you want to say anything?
I love
I
you,
think we all just got
I
caught
love
up
you guys.
in her story today and everything. And you mentioned almonds earlier. And I
Yes.
think you were here to actually talk
I
about
am, yes.
almonds. I don't even think we touched on that.
Yes, I
Oh, that's right. You are here to talk about almonds. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. To all the almond people, I'm sorry.
I'll come back in August. We'll talk more
About almonds.
about being a broccoli in
Okay.
August. But I've teamed up with California Almonds. I've been a huge almonds fan for majority of my life, but I think with my busy schedule, it's nice to have, you know, something like almonds that are protein, fiber. Everyone needs fiber and protein as well. But it's been a fun collab because it's something that's so near and dear to me of like, you got to own it every day, and you got to own it with what you put into your body as well, because what you put out in the world ultimately comes back to what you're putting into yourself, how you're filling yourself, both, you know, spiritually, physically, and emotionally. And so it's been really fun. It's an incredible team, and you can. It's just almonds. Who doesn't like almonds? If you don't like almonds, something's wrong. I'm just saying, because
Very judgmental.
I'm very judgmental.
How dare you?
It's okay. No, it's been really cool, and I'm just very fortunate to kind of be a part of a campaign that very much speaks to my life and my kind of my experiences as well.
I want to do this because you got a lot of callers on the line right now.
Yeah.
A lot of people listening who are inspired by your story. What is your social media? What is your Twitter address?
At Arlen V1.
So that's ARLEN V, the number 1.
Yes, that's all, like Twitter and Instagram.
Twitter, Instagram. And some of the folks are listening, they'll mention that they heard you on the radio this morning with Sway in the Morning. And if they ask you a question, please respond, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you. All right.
She's also got a Victoria's Victory
Foundation.
Foundation, yes.
Yep. Okay. Well,
Love
we
it.
appreciate you, Victoria
Thank you,
Arlen.
guys. I appreciate
Thank Thank you for brightening up our day.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank
cool.
you for having
We'll
me.
see you when that book come out.
We'll see you in August.
Yeah, the question's going to get a little more deeper, though.
Oh, boy.
We'll
All
bring
right.
some broccoli.
Okay. All right. Up next, we got Jeff Johnson, the host of Man Cave from BET. He's going to be on the show. You want to talk with him? 888-742-3345.